Hello, everybody. It is Cheri Bandt. I have a special guest this week.
Darren Bandt.
Mr. Bandt.
Mr. Bandt.
Mr. Bandt. My better half. Yeah.
Better? No.
Yeah, my better. So, yes, update. Normally I'd say happy Friday, but it's not Friday. It's actually Saturday. We were gone yesterday. Traveling. So I didn't get to make the video. We could have made it when we got home last night, but we didn't do that. So I thought we'll do it on Saturday, and I'll have Mr. Bandt in the video with me. So since this is 6 months, 24 weeks eating whole food plant-based, living whole food plant-based. So this is our weekly update. We're doing it. You've been doing it with me.
Minus a day.
I'm in all of these videos as though it's just me, but it's not just me. He's doing it with me. Allison, actually everyone except for our oldest son, he's still eating meat.
Right.
And cheese.
But still he's eating a little differently because of it.
Yeah, he definitely is. Yeah. But so week 24, 6 months. Can you believe it's been 6 months?
It seems like it's been a long time, but
does it?
6 months is a long time. I mean, yeah. I can't really imagine now not doing this, really.
Yeah.
Since you've been doing it.
It feels normal.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. So okay, first I'll do my update. So last week I kind of complained because I gained a pound, right? Well, I gained 3, but by the week's end it was a pound because I lost a couple. So I think last week, actually I'll look back. I was 161, 157. So that's 4 pounds, right? Is that right? No. Yeah.
Yeah. 4 pounds.
So 231 when I was in the hospital, 157 now, 74 pounds. 1 more pound and 75 pounds.
Unbelievable.
That's crazy. It's really, I mean, it really is crazy, guys. It really is crazy. And actually I have notes, but I think I'm going to jump to the bottom. I'll interview you in a second. We'll talk about you. But talking about size, and I mentioned this to Darren today. Something that I used to think about when I would watch other people's YouTube videos, when I used to do the crafting stuff, if any of you have followed me in that world when I used to have the studio and all of the things, I used to look at people who were thinner, and I used to think, I wonder what that feels like. I bet they don't even know. I bet they don't ever think about it. The people that are thin, the way that they look in their clothes, the way that they feel, I used to think, gosh, I wonder what that feels like, because it had been so long since I wasn't heavy, since I was a teenager. So, and now I'm the same size, that I was when I was a teenager. I haven't been this small since I was probably 19.
Been a long time?
Yeah, been a long time, since before I met you, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. It's just something that you just don't, like, for someone who is thinner, they don't ever think about being heavy, really. But when you're heavy, it's nice to feel, like, I feel lighter. And would you say that about yourself too?
Yeah, going up and downstairs, just moving around, walking.
Yeah, you feel lighter, and that's kind of that leads into, see, look, isn't that good? I led right into that question. Yeah. So, and I'm going to talk about your weight, because I know, I think long ago I gave an update because your numbers, because weight is something obviously everybody asks about. Most people are focusing on. That's what you see, but for you, you had a past history of high cholesterol.
Blood pressure.
And high blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And your numbers are spectacular. The last time they were checked, they were just in awe of his numbers. And I think I did share those. And they're,
right.
I mean, they did at his work, he had to do the health risk assessment, and they do that portable lipid test, and they wouldn't even read. It was under 100 for your total cholesterol, I think.
Yeah, less than.
Yeah, so they didn't even read it. So it was just so good. But you lost about 10 pounds right away, I think. From initially, you lost about 10 pounds, and you pretty much maintained that.
Well, the first probably 10 pounds was pretty quick.
Yeah.
Not as quick as the second. It was about probably 5 pounds after that.
Yeah,
so maybe 15 altogether.
Maybe. But what I've really noticed with you is clothing, because now I always complain about the clothing. His clothes are all really big on him too.
Kind of baggy. Yeah.
So he went for years that we were married. Can I talk about what size?
Sure.
38 was what you wore. 38. I think when we first were married, you were 36. And then you got to a 38 because I fed you all the junk, right? And
it was good too.
Yeah, well, you ate a lot of ice cream.
I did.
When we first got married, you were the ice cream-aholic.
Yeah, I didn't pay any attention to what I ate.
No, not at all. Except for you consumed a lot.
Right.
And I always used to get really freaking angry at him because he would eat and eat and eat, and he would gain some weight, but you never you never gained weight like I gained weight.
No.
Like I felt like I could sneeze around food and gain 2 pounds, and you could just consume. And honestly, guys, if you're in a relationship where your husband or your spouse is thinner, it kind of pisses you off if they're like eating. And still, right now, he consumes like copious amounts of food. He eats all the stuff that I wouldn't say all the stuff, but you eat still some of the refined stuff, like the chips. You eat
things, yeah.
You are like eating those chips like no tomorrow. We get lots of those, and it doesn't. Honestly, guys, it doesn't affect his weight. You don't really.
No.
Occasionally you'll go up a little bit, but you within 1 or 2 pounds.
Yeah, it's usually pretty consistent.
So anyways, 36 married, 38 through most of our marriage. And now you got into, the other day, he got into a size 32 pants. So that's like the same size as our oldest son. So in your jeans now are like 34s, I think.
They were 34s.
Yeah.
Now the 34s are baggy.
They're getting
they
a
look
little
baggy.
big. Yeah. And he has a lot of 36s in his closet, and he wears them to work, and I'm like, they're going to be falling off. He's going to have to get some more clothes. But that's kind of, just in general, this eating this way, whole food, plant-based, it really, I can see it. It gets you to what your ideal body weight is. And I'm still not there yet, I think, but you are. And maintaining it isn't really a problem, is it?
No, the thing is, you can eat pretty much as much as you want. You eat until you feel like you're full.
Right. And sometimes you overeat.
Sometimes I do.
You still don't necessarily gain weight. And that metabolism has something to do with it, I know. And I'm learning more and more. Like for me, obviously he didn't have an issue with sugar or insulin resistance. Not yet anyways. I think he was well on the road to doing that. So I think for him, he's not as sensitive to oils and things, where my body is like, oh, give me the fat. I'll just like suck it in and put it wherever it needs to go in the little compartments. I don't know that, that you deal with that. So everybody's body is a little different in how they respond. So I think that how you eat, even whole food, plant-based, does make a difference. And, but yeah, sometimes I still get a little angry because he just like eats. Like,
What's good about this though is that the changes we made, you can just eat just like you feel like you need to eat,
right?
And your body just does what it needs to do. It goes where it needs to go, and you don't have to really worry about it
or think about it. Yeah. And I think that it took us a while. It took me, not for you, because you obviously weren't like counting calories or carbs or, I could tell you before, and I still could, you hold up any food object, and I could tell you how many carbohydrates were in it, because I was so scared of like consuming something that would make me feel awful. I was very aware, extremely heightened awareness of like how many carbs were in something. And now it's nice to not have to count or measure or, I still am mindful about how much I eat. And there are times where I could overeat and I just choose not to, but I don't need to. If I wait a few minutes, I'm full. Mm-hmm. It's so satisfying, the food. And then we'll talk about what we did today. What did we do today? We went on a date, right? Is that what we did? We went on a date?
To the farmer's market.
Yeah. Muskegon Farmer's Market. And I've wanted to go more. Because to get local organic produce, and the prices are spectacular. We got a haul. You'll have to, if you're not following me on Instagram or Facebook, which you probably are, but if you stumble on this video on YouTube, then follow Bandt on Plants over on Facebook or Instagram. You can see the picture of the haul we got today. So many good things. It's so funny. And he'll tell you I'm like a giddy little kid. I'm like, oh, look at this place. And for me, I have to restrain myself because it's kind of like going to a candy store now. I love produce now. Because I know it's life-giving, right? For us, it has been. And
there's so much good stuff there.
Yeah, it's hard to like not get it all, and I'm hoping we kind of went overboard a little. I kind of went overboard just a little bit. So we'll hopefully not. There's enough of us in the house. We'll cook it up. We'll get it cooked up. We'll eat it. And that's something that really is kind of surprising. I know I have a few ladies who are her rocking it with the whole food plant-based eating. I won't say their names because they probably wouldn't want me to share it, but we're kind of just like I kind of helped get them started. Not that I started them, I didn't start them, but they asked some questions, I gave them some info, and they're doing good. And it's exciting to see other people that are digging in, and they're just going to feel so much better. I just know, I know it's going to be life-changing for them. And it's hard. I really wish, it's hard to really express it, isn't it, Darren? Like how different, because you've seen it with me, like how different you feel, how much better you feel, right? And it just,
to the point where you don't want to go back.
Yeah.
To what you were doing.
Yeah.
If it's a little more effort, maybe to do this sometimes, because it's not as convenient. You have to be more intentional about what you do.
Right.
But there's no way you'd want to go back to eating the food that you were eating. You just don't want to.
Well, one, because of what we know, what it does to our bodies. But two, how we feel. Like, how it makes you feel. Like, how just different. And I can talk like this all day long. But it really, if you give it a try, for anybody out there thinking about it, if you're struggling with weight loss, if you feel like shit and you just, want to try to get some more energy, I'm telling you, give it 2 weeks. I say 21 days, but give it at least 2 weeks. Because 2 weeks I felt, you didn't really feel bad at all. You just went right into it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
for me, I was kind of coming off all the heavy carb load. I think I can still remember kind of feeling pretty crappy in the beginning, but because really your body gets addicted to all the crap foods. It really does, and especially cheese, and dairy's horrible for you. I'll say that like every time. Meat's not good either, but dairy is absolutely, especially since it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. All you ladies, stop it. No more milk, no more cheese, no more yogurt. Go do something. Do something else. Don't do that. But speaking of inconvenience, it is harder. We just, Darren, some of our older kids went to visit Darren's mom. Stayed with her. She lives on the other side of Michigan. He took them over earlier in the week. We went, that's where we were at yesterday. That's why we weren't here.
Coming back.
Yeah, we were coming back yesterday. But, so traveling, we haven't really done much of that. And so we just took some food with us. And the other thing we did is peanut butter and jelly, people. Yeah, we make our own. Darren does it. Because you're so sweet.
Well, you showed me how.
Yeah, well, I don't like cleaning out honestly, it's not hard, guys. I would say we get organic peanuts. We don't. We buy Aldi, just regular, just peanuts with nothing else in them.
Unsalted.
And it probably would be better to get organic, but, we still are trying to be mindful of what we spend on what. But, and if I'm going to choose, I have to pick and choose what we buy. But anyways, couple jars of those, you throw them in the Ninja blender thing, just turn it on and you get peanut butter. And we do that. It doesn't last very long. So we don't have to worry about it spoiling because there's nothing in it except for the nuts. And then I make the like chia berry jam from organic berries from Aldi.
Yep.
Yeah, and super simple. If anybody wants the recipe, I'll be happy to share it with you. But we just use that on the seeded bread. We made up some peanut butter sandwiches to take along. Ate some chopped up veggies, and you're good to go. It's actually not hard. I think it's what you're used to. I think back in the day, and I'm sure that because he's older than me, I'm sure this was normal for him because you traveled a lot as a kid.
I did, yep.
And so he's pre-fast food. Yeah, you are.
Right. When it was slow food.
Yeah, when it was slow food. So if you traveled when you were younger, you didn't go to McDonald's, right? You didn't do that. That wasn't something that you did.
There weren't a lot of them around.
So I would assume that like your mom would, or grandmother or whoever or whatever would pack like just sandwiches.
Yeah, we would have snacks and things. Yeah.
Right. And so it's just getting back to that mindset of, but you have to prepare, you have to plan, and to be successful with this, I think that's really the key.
But the thing is, to be prepared though, I mean, it doesn't take only a few minutes to put that together.
No.
And then, gosh, you don't have to stop.
Right. Or hummus. Like if you like hummus,
good,
I have a sandwich where I make the roasted red pepper hummus, and you can make like cucumbers and hummus and a little bit of greens, and it's delicious.
You might not think hummus would be, you could just make a sandwich out of it, but it's that good.
Yes, yeah. And chickpeas are good for you. So, good source of protein, and yes, it's delicious. It kind of tastes, it is what you get, what you get used to. So, okay. So, and what else I was going to say is I have restaurants here. We haven't been to one. we haven't done that. And that some people, if you're a real like social person, you go out to eat a lot. And I know, even my oldest daughter, who lives out east, she's typical. You got lots going on. You go out to eat. She has lots more options, I'm sure, out east in terms of like getting vegan or whole food, plant-based meals. And I think that there's ways to navigate that. I just haven't had to do it because we're not doing it. Because one, if we all go out to dinner as a family, it used to, we'd have to take a small loan anyways, even just to go to McDonald's. No joke, really. I think when we would go and do it mindfully at like Burger King or whatever, we're spending $70+ you know.
Typical, yeah.
Yeah, or more, even in trying to do dollar menu things. But And so we weren't, we live in an area now where it's not convenient to go out to eat anyways. We do the pizza occasionally and all of that before, but so that's not anything that we kind of miss date night, don't you? Like ribs and beer.
Well, going out is just, we just have to find something else to go out for.
Yeah.
Not the food.
And now we do a lot more walking.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of our thing is, and so it's just a change. It's a change in your habits. So, but anyways, for anybody out there that's watching, that if you have tips for anybody for eating out, like the ways that you order, because my whole thing is, I really like to stay away from the added oils, and I think in a restaurant you're almost guaranteed that you're going to get them, I think, because even if you order sides, you could do the salad bar at most places, but I'm sure that you could be creative with it, but you just have to know that there's occasions where you're going to consume those things.
Right.
And you
just... But for us in traveling, though, I mean, it's one thing to know where you're going to go and to know what your options are, but when you're traveling, you really don't know where's the place to stop.
Right.
So,
but you could do like Chipotle or something like that. But I know, I think they even have oil in their rice, so you're going to get oil. But you can be mindful and kind of stay away from the dairy and the meat as well, because there's lots of vegetarian options. But anyway, so that's that. And then I guess the only other things I have is I finished up my second part to the Center for Nutrition Studies, the eCornell course that I'm doing. There's 3 parts to it. The second part I just finished up this week, and that's the diseases of affluence. So I learned lots about heart disease and cancer and all of those things, and how our diet definitely plays a role in, at like 8 of the top 10 causes of death or lifestyle diseases, really. And we can make a difference. You can make a dent. I mean, really, when I think about how I want to like go out, I just want to like go to bed and like not wake up. I don't want to suffer with some like cancer that's going to eat away my body and my mind. And, we don't always get those. We don't get to choose that. But if we can do things that kind of help, so we can, I never thought I'd want to live to be like even 90. And now I'm like, shit, I think I can maybe make it, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's one thing. My perspective has completely changed. Hasn't it for you too? Just like on health, and like we never know our lot, but if we can do things to, help our body perform better and be well, I mean, you do it, right? We're doing it. So I think that's really it. So I've got, what do I have? Oh, yeah. Oh, I missed Cold.
She's got notes, and I see the notes.
missed Cold. And he'll tell you, I'm okay. I used to be, like, before Darren and I even met, I would fish all the time, didn't I? I was a big...
Ice fishing.
Well,
any kind of fish.
Yeah, but mainly I loved ice fishing in the wintertime. I had a group of guys that I would go fishing with. If anybody's watching this, you know who you are. And we had a lot of fun. Caught a lot of fish. I even have a few mounted, which I suppose now that I'm kind of vegan is not probably not.
Well, they're up there, not on the plate.
Yeah, well, they're not. Yeah. But anyways, so I was like in the cold, and we used to snowmobile all the time. But so we did that in the beginning of our marriage. We used to snowmobile, and so cold, I'm like, I used to go ice fishing, so I'd be out, sub-zero weather and not even have a jacket on. Holy cow, people, it's starting to get chilly. I realize, I'm like, I don't have the fat. I am cold as hell. I'm getting chilly, and maybe I don't think it's mental. I mean, I just realize, like when I'm walking and it's cold, like last night it was 40, what was it?
47, 45?
Was it? Oh, I was freezing.
Oh, you mean like, yeah, was it?
Yeah,
it was almost
it was colder
41,
than that.
I think.
Yeah, I was freezing. So I can see where you lose. So if you want to stay warm, stay fat. Because I'm getting cold, and I think the winter is going to get me, so I'm going to have to get some warm clothes. I need some tips on, like, walking attire, though. Like, I need to find some things where I'm not too bulky. And I know that there's, like, Thinsulate and all of that stuff, but I don't even know if there's, like, insulated, like, tight pants. I'm sure there are. There's lined ones. So I need to get that kind of stuff, and probably sooner than I thought, because I'm cold all the time now. So... yeah, so we'll be cranking the heat up. That's going to cost us a little bit. Saving money not buying the $8 a pound bacon, but Cheri's going to have to turn the heater up, so we'll probably end up spending a little bit more there. And have you looked at meat? Well, you haven't been to the store lately. Like, we've been doing all the shopping. I don't know what the meat prices are now, but they're saying that it's going to get worse. So
probably.
Yeah, so get your rice and beans and plants. Yeah, well, those are plants too, but that's all I got. You got anything else you want to add?
Nope. I guess.
So 6 months, and it's been a success for all of us. And yeah, we're gonna keep going. We're not stopping, and we're gonna try to do whatever we can to help whoever we can. Right? I think that we're gonna be on a mission here, the two of us together. I think we decided that.
There's a lot of people that are confused by all the different things that people tell you are the right thing to do, and you don't know. You don't always know, and it's easy to do the wrong thing, thinking you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, and that's where I was at.
Yep.
And so thanks for watching. I will continue. My plan is to continue still to do these. So hopefully they're helpful. I think if there's any of you out there, I'm thinking about the ladies that have like even started doing this. I might want to start some kind of group or something. I don't know, where we can kind of support each other. So if that's something that you think you might be interested, shoot me a message or leave me a message, whatever. I'd love to chat with you, and maybe we could put something together and kind of just support each other in the journey. So anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you for joining me.
It's been my pleasure.
Yeah, maybe I'll bring him back again if you'd like to come back on. We'll have to talk some more. So you all have a blessed week, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.